Welcome to the Deep Dive, right here on the podcast channel. We take a stack of sources, pull out the most important insights, and give you a real shortcut to being well-informed.
And today, we're tackling a big one, a real classic.
We absolutely are. We're diving deep into Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
Yeah, and this isn't just, another self-help book. What's really fascinating here is that it's basically the culmination of a money-making secret that Andrew Carnegie himself shared with Hill.
A secret that apparently shaped the fortunes of, over 500 incredibly wealthy people over decades.
Exactly. It's like a distillation of their practical wisdom, what actually worked for them.
Okay, so our mission today is pretty clear. We're going to try and uncover this secret, break down its core principles.
And most importantly, figure out how you, listening right now, can actually apply them to achieve whatever your definite purpose might be.
Right, so let's unpack this. Hill kicks things off immediately, hammering home that all achievement starts with what he calls a burning desire.
Uh-huh. And it's much more than just a simple wish, isn't it? He describes it as this keen, pulsating obsession. It has to be intense.
So how does that work in practice?
Well, to really get it, think about that iconic story of Edwin C. Barnes. He had this overwhelming, almost singular desire to become Thomas Edison's business associate.
Right, and I remember this one.
When he first showed up at Edison's office, he looked, well, frankly, like a tramp. Definitely not your typical business partner material.
Yeah, not exactly dressed for success.
Not at all. But he wasn't there just to wish. The book says he was ready. His desire, it transcended everything else, and he was just determined to stay ready until he got what he wanted.
And it took years, didn't it?
It did. But eventually, that unwavering desire became reality. He was in business with Edison. It just shows how that deep desire, when it's backed by faith, kind of pushes aside all the rational reasons why it shouldn't happen and just, inspires action.
So it's the starting point, the absolute starting point for pretty much any big achievement. Okay, so that idea of a burning desire, it sounds incredibly intense, but it can't be enough to just want something that badly, can it?
No, you're right. Hill argues the decision is what truly ignites the whole process. So paired with that burning desire is the absolute necessity of making a prompt and, crucially, a definite decision.
Right. He tells that other incredible story, the one about R.U. Darby, the guy mining for gold.
Oh, yeah. 3 feet from gold. Brutal. He quit literally inches away from a fortune.
And only realized it later when he was selling life insurance that quitting so early was just this monumental mistake.
But he learned from it, didn't he? He learned to keep pushing no matter how many times people told him no. He learned that no doesn't necessarily mean no.
Especially after that incident you mentioned earlier with his uncle and the little girl wanting a nickel. That really drove the point home for him.
It really did. And this power of decision, it isn't just for individuals either. Think bigger.
How so?
Well, connect it to maybe the ultimate example, the signing of the Declaration of Independence.
Wow. Okay. Big leap.
Yeah, but think about it. 56 men, knowing they were basically signing potential death warrants.
They made a definite decision.
A definite collective decision that literally gave birth to a nation. That decision, born from incredible courage and unwavering faith in their purpose, that was the irresistible power that ensured freedom.
It wasn't just fighting. It was the will behind it, the decision.
Precisely. A battle of wills, fueled by definite decisions against overwhelming odds.
So, boiling it down for someone listening, what does this all mean for you?
It means getting crystal clear on what you truly want, so clear that it burns inside you, like Hill says.
Amen.
Then you make a firm, definite decision to get it. No procrastination, no second guessing. That definite purpose, backed by that solid decision, that's your launch pad.
But, so many people get stuck there. They have the desire. Maybe they even make the decision, but then inertia, or they just give up too soon. Does Hill talk about how to keep going?
Oh, absolutely. And that brings us right to the next critical piece. Persistence. Once you've got that desire ignited and the decision made, persistence is the sustained effort you need to actually induce faith.
He calls it the carbon to steel for character, right?
Exactly. It transforms the raw desire into something incredibly resilient. Without persistence, that initial fire might just fizzle out.
The book's full of great examples of this, isn't it? Like Fannie Hurst?
Yeah, 36 rejection slips. Imagine getting 36 no's before someone finally said yes to her story.
The level of self-doubt must have been immense. Or Kate Smith pounding the pavements for 4 years.
Facing constant rejection before Broadway finally opened up for her. Their persistence paid off massively, far beyond what most people could even imagine.
It wasn't just talent then, was it? It was that sheer refusal to quit, a conscious decision to endure.
Absolutely. But what stops most people? What prevents them from developing that persistence?
Ah, the 6 ghosts of fear. I remember reading about these.
Yes, poverty, criticism, ill health, loss of love, old age, and death. Hill calls them subtle, deeply seated enemies.
They exist only in your mind, he says, but they're incredibly powerful.
Totally. They paralyze reason, they destroy imagination, they kill self-reliance. They're basically the opposites of persistence.
Like the fear of poverty.
Yeah.
He links that directly to the Great Depression, doesn't he?
He does. He suggests that the mass thought of poverty after the 1929 crash actually helped manifest the physical reality of the Depression.
That's a powerful idea. And the fear of criticism. How many people don't chase their dreams because they're worried what others will think?
Exactly. It stops people setting high goals or going back to school or even just speaking up with a good idea. These fears, if you let them run wild, they become self-fulfilling prophecies. They can trap you.
It really shows how much our internal world shapes our external reality.
But here's the good news, and this is like a central theme in the whole book.
What's that?
You have absolute control over your own mind.
Okay. So you're not just stuck with these fears.
Not at all. The book teaches that you can cultivate persistence and you can outwit fear. How? By consciously directing your thoughts.
Like choosing what to focus on.
Exactly. And deliberately closing your mind to negative influences, even if they come from well-meaning friends or family.
That can be tough.
It can be, but it's crucial. You focus relentlessly on your definite purpose. It's all about building mental habits of success, not failure. Taking charge of your thoughts.
Okay, so we've got the spark, desire and decision. We've got the fuel, persistence and overcoming fear.
Mm-hmm.
But how do these intangible things, how do they actually turn into tangible results? Money, success, whatever it is.
Right. Hill says it's through the power of organized and intelligently directed knowledge.
Knowledge. Okay, but he redefines education, doesn't he? It's not just about school.
Not at all. He points out education comes from the Latin educo, which means to draw out or to develop from within.
So true education isn't just stuffing your head with facts.
Nope. It's about knowing how to acquire the knowledge you need and then how to apply it effectively. He uses Henry Ford as an example.
Ford. But he barely had any formal schooling.
Exactly. Less than a 6th grade education. But Hill considered him highly educated because Ford knew how to surround himself with people who had the specialized knowledge he lacked, and he knew how to organize and direct that knowledge.
Ah, okay. And that leads straight into the mastermind principle, doesn't it?
It does. It's a cornerstone of the whole philosophy. Hill defines it as, let me get this right, coordination of knowledge and effort in a spirit of harmony between 2 or more people for the attainment of a definite purpose.
So it's not just what you know, but who you align yourself with and how you work together.
Precisely. Andrew Carnegie attributed his entire fortune to the power he got from his mastermind group, 50 men, all focused on steel.
50?
And Henry Ford's biggest breakthroughs really started when he allied himself with guys like Thomas Edison, Hardy Firestone, John Burroughs.
He was absorbing their, what did Hill call it? Their thought vibrations?
Yeah, their intelligence, their way of thinking. Even Gandhi's power, which seemed passive, Hill says it came from getting over 200 million people to cooperate harmoniously for a specific goal.
So the insight is that real power comes from organized knowledge, often amplified through working together harmoniously.
Right, like a group of brains working in sync creates more thought energy than just adding up the individual parts.
That sounds almost psychic, like accessing something bigger.
Well, Hill does talk about that. He suggests this harmonized group can generate so much thought energy that it allows access to what he calls a greater infinite intelligence.
Infinite intelligence. What does he actually mean by that?
He described it as sort of a universal mind, a vast reservoir of all knowledge, creative ideas, solutions.
That you can tap into.
Yeah. When your mind, or the group's mind, is intensely focused on that definite purpose and really driven by strong emotion, it's like connecting to a cosmic database of inspiration.
Okay, so how do ideas from this infinite intelligence, or just great ideas in general, become real things?
Hill says it's largely through 2 faculties, imagination and the subconscious mind.
Imagination. Okay, give me an example.
Think about that enchanted kettle story, the origin of Coca-Cola.
Oh yeah, Asa Cambler.
Right. A drug clerk buys a secret formula and an old kettle for, what, $500?
Something like that.
But the secret ingredient he added, the one that really mattered, wasn't chemical. Hill says it was pure imagination.
He saw the potential.
He saw the empire. He transformed a simple idea into this massive stream of wealth that's still flowing today. It wasn't the kettle. It was the vision, the imagination.
That's a great example. Or what about Dr. Frank Gonzalez?
Another fantastic one. He nursed this desire for 2 years to build a tech institute.
And then he gave that sermon, right? What I would do if I had $1 million.
Exactly. He made his definite decision, laid out his plan imaginatively, and within 36 hours, Philip T. Armour gives him the $1 million.
36 hours.
Shows how fast things can move when the desire, the decision, the plan, and the faith all line up. The universe responds.
So the subconscious mind fits in here how?
The book calls it the connecting link. It receives and files all our thought impulses, positive or negative. And crucially, it's much more influenced by emotionalized thoughts than by cold logic.
So thoughts backed by strong feelings have more power.
Much more. You can think of the subconscious like this powerful engine room. It takes the commands you feed it, especially the emotional ones, and it just works tirelessly to bring them into your reality.
And the creative imagination.
That's described as the receiving set of the brain. It's like a sixth sense that picks up hunches and inspirations, potentially from that infinite intelligence we talked about.
Hill even had that technique, the invisible counselors.
Yeah. He'd hold these imaginary nightly meetings in his head with historical figures he admired, Emerson, Lincoln, Edison.
What's the point of that?
To absorb their traits, their wisdom, their character. He used it as a direct source of inspiration and guidance, almost like having his own personal dream team board of directors.
Wow, okay, and then there's the concept of sex transmutation. That one sounds potentially controversial.
It can sound that way, but Hill is very clear it's not about physical indulgence. Not at all.
So what is it about?
It's about channeling that incredibly powerful human drive, that life force energy, away from purely physical expression and redirecting it into higher creative and intellectual pursuits.
Like using that energy for fuel.
Exactly. He argues that when you consciously control and redirect that energy, it provides unparalleled mental focus and creative power. He suggests many geniuses tap into this, especially later in life, achieving extraordinary things because that transmuted energy is the most potent mind stimulant for driving big ideas into reality.
Okay, so we've gone through these really profound internal principles: desire, decision, persistence, knowledge, mastermind, imagination. But how does someone listening put this into action today, especially, when it comes to marketing yourself, getting a job, building a career in the world as it is now?
That's a great question, and Hill actually addressed this idea of a changed world even back then. He saw a shift happening.
What shift was that?
He said the old go-getter mentality was being replaced by the go-giver.
Go-giver?
Yeah. Businesses and individuals who truly succeed are the ones who understand they are there to serve the public, to provide value. He argued that getting without giving just isn't sustainable.
He used examples like railroads and streetcar companies struggling back then.
Exactly, because they weren't adapting to serve the public better. The public ultimately is the real boss. Success comes from figuring out what that boss needs and providing it.
So the book offers a practical way to market yourself based on this.
It does. A new way of marketing services, he called it. Basically, turning the idea of just looking for a job into creating a partnership.
How does that work? What are the steps?
Okay, so first, you decide the exact kind of work or the specific company you want to be involved with. Don't just look at job ads. Maybe you even need to create the position yourself in your mind.
Be proactive, not reactive.
Exactly. Second, you need to do your homework. Thoroughly study the prospective employer, their business, their people, their challenges, and figure out specifically what you can offer that brings unique value to them.
So it's not just about your resume, it's about their needs.
Precisely. And third, you prepare a detailed, persuasive presentation. He calls it a brief. Outlining your qualifications, yes, but focusing on how you can benefit the company. What problems can you solve? What opportunities can you help them seize?
And he even suggests offering to work on probation.
Yeah, to prove your value. It's about selling yourself as an indispensable asset, not just filling a vacancy. You're proposing a partnership.
Could you give an example of this working?
Sure. Look at Stuart Austin Weir, the guy who switched from engineering to law during the Depression. He didn't just hang out a shingle. He used specialized knowledge about what Dallas businesses needed then and built a thriving practice.
He found a need and filled it.
Or the woman who created a unique personal service sales plan for herself and her son. She didn't wait for a job opening. She identified a company, crafted a proposal showing how her son could benefit them, and secured him a position at the salary they determined beforehand.
Wow. So that's combining imagination, specialized knowledge, and organized planning to basically create your own opportunities.
That's the essence of it.
Okay. So we've really journeyed through the core philosophy of Think and Grow Rich today. From that initial burning spark of desire and the power of a definite decision.
Through the unyielding fuel of persistence, mastering fear, harnessing organized knowledge, and the mastermind.
All the way to tapping into the creative potential of your imagination and subconscious mind. It's quite a system.
It really is. And remember that quote Hill uses about life being a checkerboard.
The one about time being your opponent.
That's the one. Life is a checkerboard, and the player opposite you is time. If you hesitate before moving or neglect to move promptly, your men will be wiped off the board by time. You are playing against a partner who will not tolerate indecision.
Chilling, but motivating. It really underscores that need for definite decision and action.
Absolutely. These principles we've talked about, they aren't just, nice theories. Hill presents them as practical, proven laws that have genuinely shaped countless successful lives.
And the conclusion is pretty empowering. There are no limitations to the mind except those we acknowledge.
Exactly. The secret, if there is one, isn't some magic trick. It's the consistent, harmonious application of these fundamental truths.
So the question for everyone listening is, what will your definite purpose be? And maybe more importantly, what bold decision will you make today, right now, to start moving towards it?
That's the challenge. And hey, if you found these insights valuable today, definitely do us a favor, hit that like button, share this content with someone you think needs to hear it.
And please leave us a comment below. Tell us your thoughts, your experiences with these ideas, or maybe what your definite purpose is. We genuinely love hearing from you and engaging with the community here.
We really do. Thanks for diving deep with us today.